Good morning from Orange Beach on Friday, April 28th, 2023. So this morning we're going to talk about the move by Delta under an alliance of like-minded concerns to ask Congress to relax the perimeter rule that currently governs the stage length of departures and arrivals to and from Washington's Reagan National Airport. And we want to talk about this because we think it illustrates one of the key things we've been talking about over time, about how geopolitical and demographic long-term trends in play well before COVID but accelerated by COVID are putting a lot of pressure on airlines. So when it comes to Reagan, a couple of things. First of all, it's not the only slot-controlled airport out there. The other notable one of similar stature, obviously, is New York's LaGuardia. But the other thing is this: very few people, unless they're airline planners, would know this, but LaGuardia and Reagan National are both among the least profitable airports on airlines' networks. They don't make money by flying people there necessarily. They make money from the value that having service to LaGuardia and Reagan adds to their network, because people will fly them on those routes and then also be loyal to them on other routes where airlines do make money. So Reagan and LaGuardia, as example, lose a lot of money. The interesting thing here is this: Delta hubs at LaGuardia but not at Reagan. American hubs at Reagan. So Delta's not asking anybody to relax the similar perimeter rule at LaGuardia, where they have hub position, as does American. But at Reagan, only American does. So by removing the perimeter rule or relaxing the perimeter rule, Delta would gain an advantage there. I'm not saying that's bad or good, it just is. But the thing is that this really is an opportunity for us to revisit the nature of slot controls and how they're allocated, because why would any airline be allowed to hub at an airport that is federally constrained by slots, when hubbing by definition means connecting passengers who aren't going to that airport, who could be connected over another airport instead, thereby freeing up capacity, existing capacity, for passengers who just want to access Washington, or in the case of LaGuardia, want to access New York. That's one example. The other thing would be, from a federal policy perspective, why do we continue to allocate capacity through slots rather than evaluating potentially some market-based mechanism in a constrained capacity environment that would allocate capacity to the highest and best use rather than some arbitrary or political consideration? Of course, by mentioning that it's political, we've sort of answered our own question. But those are the kinds of things that a vibrant and a functional federal policy and industry approach to such constraints would entail. And I don't want to say we're hopeful that it can happen, but if there's ever a time to revisit how airlines, airports, and the federal government work together to provide a functioning national air transportation system, this would be that moment in history.